Hey everybody, I thought I had a button, it didn't have a button. Welcome. We have a live guest tonight. We've got a couple of news stories we're going to get to. And if you watch this podcast through the end, or listen if you're listening to us, you're going to have two words stuck in your head. Tomorrow morning and the next day, these two words are going to keep coming up in your head, and that's a fair warning. It's a result of this time. So, if you're willing to take that risk, get comfortable, because it is time for SCDN After Hours. Let's go. Quiet, piggy. Welcome to SCDN After Hours. Welcome. We are broadcasting right now live across multiple platforms. So whether you're watching us or listening to us, thank you so very much. The way this After Hours podcast works is we have three segments during the show, and then between the segments, then of course those segments will be clipped out and become their own thing later. And then between the segments, we kind of, blabbermouth around.
Talk crap?
Yeah, talk crap. So we're gonna talk about a few things, but there was one thing I was all week without my walking stick, and it's Austin's fault.
The hell was it my fault?
Because it's behind that door.
That's not my fault.
Well, when we left out of here last week,
I forgot Mark was a man-child and needs my assistance. I'm a producer, not his manservant. What the heck?
it was, and I've been out of town all week, and
he was the one that was all over the place last week, and I get blamed for it.
Yeah, normally I'd just be at the house and it wouldn't have mattered one bit, but yeah, it was the one week I took off, and I
seen one of those online, and I was going to show you. It's like a massive baton, metal, like steel thing that's a walking stick, but flip it up and beat somebody from across the room with it.
There was a guy at the end of our street, and he's not there. He's not there now because they sold the property, but it was vacant for a long time. They built a house on it, but it was vacant for a long time. And he would twirl a flag like you see the flag corps like in the high schools and everything.
That man actually just passed away recently. I was friends with him on Facebook.
What?
Mm-hmm.
He would be out there for hours practicing his flag.
Yeah, he passed away. I think it was the day after, or the same day that the shooting happened down by Party Time.
He wasn't 50.
No, he was. I think he was 44. I think something like that.
He inspired. I always. Oh. Yeah, that's yeah.
And it's got a knife built into the handle.
Yeah, I see that. Oh.
Instead of that wooden thing that you have over there.
Yeah, and you pull it out and do a wall-off. All right, so you ready to get into your first segment? Only because we have somebody kindly waiting in the wings. So
Yeah,
we're gonna get
yeah,
into
yeah.
the first segment.
Let's see what we got here.
Okay. Data centers. It's kind of like the second most popular two words said in Scioto County. And we are going to talk about data centers and water and all kinds of things. And to help us do that, we have our head writer and content director for the website, Sin Mackley, waiting in the wings there. And looks like she's ready to go. I'm going to bring her up here. And we'll do a little bit of this. Hello, Sin. Hello.
I did just want to say, first off, producer. I've been was a producer for many years. Producers are manservants. That's the job. So, talent is just talent. So you have to look after them.
Yeah, that was right before we started the show. Oh no, do we record the man servant thing? Oh,
yep.
See, I didn't. Right.
Check on it, manservant.
I don't get paid enough.
All right, Sin. So the data center, $1 billion in revenue. That's what they're telling folks. Probably be 2-3 years to build out. So a lot of people for the first few years, and then not so many. So it's a boom for the town for a few years, and then it'll just kind of go into the background and just employ a skeleton crew. So people are freaked out about these freaking data centers, and tell us your thoughts as as a voice of authority, because we've talked privately, and we want to really kind of help the people understand in everyday English what in the world is happening, so we can kind of filter out the noise and just talk about what a data center, the impact that a data center has when it comes to your town. So, Sin, take it away and share some of your initial thoughts.
Well, my first thought is what a data center is. And a lot of people seem to think it's only for AI. There was somebody who came to the meeting and is like, it's just for AI, and all people use AI for is to make silly pictures and ask stupid questions. That's not quite right. There's that kind of AI, generative AI, the stuff you kind of see that you can play with, but then it has become like the bedrock of almost every digital system. Every platform is using it. It's running underneath software. It's modeling all kinds of things, data going all the time. But centers aren't just for AI. They are for, when we say things are in the cloud, well, where the cloud is the data centers. They're actually your photos that you're storing, that you've got on your phone, because your phone's one of the main culprit of why they need all these data centers. It's stored, that cloud that it's stored in is actually stored at multiple data centers because they're always redundant in case one of them goes out and you can get things. So all that Facebook you're using, you're the reason there's a cloud. The TikTok videos you've got running constantly, you're the reason they need data centers. You're watching Netflix, you're streaming on demand, not watching stuff over the air. You're the reason they need data centers. You're streaming your music and not buying it on vinyl. You're the reason they need data centers. Your emails, your bank transactions, your medical records. It's all in a cloud, which means it's all in a data center.
Shopping.
All your Amazon shopping. All that shopping you're doing with Temu, where you've moved everything out of brick and mortar retail and you're doing 60, 70% of your shopping online. That all needs to be done in data centers. All the records are in data centers. All your purchase records are in data centers. Most of the people who are kvetching the loudest about it, you're the reason for it. You're using it, and they're like, we don't need it. Well, we need it. the argument is, where's it going to go? Because like we need power plants and nobody wants them. We need prisons and nobody wants them in their backyard. But it's not an argument as to where we need it. Everything's there. It's not going away. They're not going to regress. There's going to be needs for more as they come up with this new and improved, but more complicated technologies. All that smart stuff you got, that's going to a data center. Your Alexa, all of your home stuff, all of that is going to a data center. You're the one, unless you want to go back to shopping everything out by its, going get everything at a local store if you think it's going to have it there. But everybody, no more ATMs, no more online banking, no more email. I mean, it's going to be there. They're going to need them. Question is, where are they going to go?
So you brought up a really good point, because we talked about, social media, definitely, with the data centers.
TikTok,
huge. Temu, Amazon, of course, Netflix. And what did you say? You said something, and I accidentally put something on the screen for later. I didn't realize I had put it on the live screen. But I heard you say something about, you made this metaphor or simile. You drew a comparison, and it really piqued my interest. Can you repeat that again?
Oh, about power plants and prisons, things we need that nobody wants in their backyard.
Yes. Do that again, because I messed it up, so I'm gonna have to clip it whenever we do when we clip this out to a short. So you think you can do a take 2 on that? Because that was a really good point.
Want the whole thing, or can I just do the one part?
Yeah, no, it was just the one part right there where I accidentally screwed up the screen for a second, because that was really good. I loved it. As soon as you were saying it, I'm loving it. So yeah, go ahead and just do that 30 seconds, and then that'll be great.
I mean, it's not a question I heard people say, we don't need it. It's not a question of whether we need them. We need them. They're like power plants in prisons. We need them, but nobody wants them in their backyard. So the question isn't do we need it? It's where is it going to go?
Perfect. Thank you. So another thing that they're talking about. So we've established that the data centers are for a lot more than pictures and Chat GPT. For some reason, data centers, Chat GPT. It's like, because of Chat GPT, now we need all these data centers. That's not it at all. The data centers is because we are a data society now. But if you guys will remember, and I know here, we talked about having to buy more server space for SCDN because we didn't want to lose all of the resources that are on the website. So whenever you look for something even 5-6 years ago, it's still there. And we had to pay extra at the server place. So we here at SCDN, we're contributing to the data center, and you're watching this on Facebook. Here's which is the data center. Now here's the thing, or over on the radio. Here's the thing, and Sam, you can weigh in on this. Here's the irony, and somebody needs to make a meme of this. This is freaking ironic, okay? You go on Facebook to talk about a Facebook data center and then rant and rave about the Facebook data center on Facebook.
Well, and that's the thing. Most of the things, like I've seen some things on TikTok where people are going on and on. Like, you're on one of the major reasons that they need more data centers. And of course, the breaking news that came out Friday is Facebook is helping to pay to build little bitty nuclear reactors to power their data centers. They've already funded 2 in Ohio. I assume they're going to be doing it all over the country. So like they're kind of answering some of the concerns about power. Now, I know the people that hate the nuclear reactors are going to be doubly upset. But I mean, they are answering some of the criticism, like we're going to invest, I'm assuming it's got to be billions, into these little mini nuclear reactors. And they've already announced one of the reactors to definitely power data centers in Pike County. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is about the data centers, about where they're going to go. If they don't build them in the U.S., they're going to build them in China or other places overseas. Do you really want all your data sitting overseas? And when we've seen what happened to physical goods when they're all made in China and you can't get through them, that could also happen. They could look at your data. It's the thing of being able to look at your data, being able to shut your data off, completely cripple you. I mean, you want your data centers in your country.
That's true. It's true. And you look at the underwater, under the ocean, there's literally cables running underneath the ocean that connects the World Wide Web. They're laying on the floor of the ocean. And then when they get near American shores, there's a cut and they're routed off into different areas. And so it kind of helps keep the World Wide Web more national for us. So that, nobody had any idea that they were running these trawlers, and there's a lot of them. You can Google up a map of the cables, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of cables laying at the bottom of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans to connect the world. And that's what's brought us here, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I did want to just kind of reiterate, a lot of people seem to think that the commissioners were like weighing in on a decision about whether or not we're going to have it. Like they said, they have no control over that. It's private property. The land is zoned. There's really no zoning out for things out in the county. That land is basically approved for industrial use. And somebody can build a data center there. And their reasoning behind offering that tax break was to get a particular company, like a top tier company, to build there. They haven't said who they're going for, but I think you can pretty much infer who it is. And by the details they are giving out, to get like a top tier company that's got some money that will probably keep their promises. And part of what the tax break was for, the commissioner said, was to get them to agree to use local labor to get that injection into there. And like they said, other communities are giving tax breaks too. And they're like, well, why are you giving these tax breaks when all these data centers want to come in? And it's really to get the top quality of data centers. It's like when they're building shopping malls, back when they used to build shopping malls and shopping centers, they used to give theaters like free leases, like years and years of leases, because it was a draw and they wanted something good in there and they would let you get in there for like nothing. Yeah. So I think their reasoning is that the tax break is to make sure they get a top tier company in and not have some of those disasters like they've had with getting the steel mill over in Kentucky or other places starting up that didn't have the funding to follow through with what they were building, and then you tie up your land and you get nothing there. I think their reasoning is the tax break gets you a top tier company that's going to do top tier things. And as they said, I don't know if you saw their answer, because the commissioners did post some answers to questions. They said this particular company, I think Meta, had data centers open for 15 years and hadn't shut any of them down. You know, that they had their pattern of behavior was better than that. So
and comparatively, we'll stick on tax, and I'm going to go to Austin for some reaction. But I want to close out by talking about water, but comparatively, and you mentioned that area of Franklin Furnace is zoned commercial, because there's plants, there's chemical plants, ladies and gentlemen, there's chemical plants right there. I don't see any picketings at the chemical plants anyway. But so I'm gonna go to. I forgot there was one thing I was gonna do in the middle. I apologize. But I'm gonna go to Austin for a reaction. Oh! I remember about the revenue. We got, according to the commissioners, we got a better deal here in Scioto County than other counties have given. They think we're giving too much tax money away, but actually we're getting more taxes than most counties, according to the commissioners. Do you believe that? I mean, does that ring true to you? Do you think they were being truthful?
Well, you can look it up. I mean, it is all those deals are public once they're made, and they were saying after we get what's called a pilot, after they give the big chunk of money back, that it will be right around a 50% tax break, and most places are giving like a 60 or 70% tax break on some of those. But I think they're doing it to try to bring in the top tier companies.
And for those of you natives, because we have a large contingency of natives that are from here and live in other areas. Those of you who are familiar with New Albany, the actual town of New Albany, and what it was 10 years ago, and what has happened to New Albany, and literally multi-million-dollar mansions sitting empty and torn down, and still right now sitting empty. The situation here is not New Albany, right? Every one of these data centers, they have to negotiate the terms, and New Albany city government, town government is the one that screwed the people. It wasn't the data centers. The data centers could have been other places, but New Albany wanted them, and they literally sold that beautiful, picturesque escape for the millionaire class. They sold them up the river, and I'm sure you're familiar with New Albany's situation, Sin. Do you agree with that assessment? Is this like the exact polar opposite of what's going on to the poor folks in New Albany?
Well, I mean,
people are they see stuff like that, like New Albany, other towns too, but New Albany's the worst of what's happened to them. Do they see those and they think, oh, that's what's going to happen here? But it's a totally different situation. It's a different negotiation. I'll toss it to you on that.
Well, I think there's also the opportunity from very bad mistakes to learn, but we're also not giving away prime residential real estate for this. It's agricultural. That's not necessarily bringing in a lot. It's already industrial. But I also wanted to say, listen, if it was a perfect world, I don't know, would I like to put, the horse is out of the barn. I talk a lot about pre-social media, pre-everything online days. Boy, it was nice when all the media was physical and we had stores and record stores and broadcast TV and newspaper was thriving. I mean, that would be awesome. But I've yet to find me wishing some technology would just go the heck away has worked. So, I mean, everything I came I came up in broadcast television. That stuff's just evaporated. But you can't wish stuff away. You got to make the best deal you can with what is existing now. And I do think we as a community, with the university's incredible gaming program, and that is another gigantic use for data centers.
Yes.
Gaming. we have an opportunity because of that and other things to be a technological hub. And I mean, I don't want to pave over every bit of farmland because, we need food. I don't want, but I do think you kind of have to lean practically into what's going on and just hope people do the most they can to get the best deal, because Ohio lets you build data centers. That's the way it is in the state. They like them. That's what they were hauling all those giant turbines up the road for, to keep those data centers cool.
That's true. That's true. All right, Austin, you've heard us talk here for about 20 minutes on the subject of data centers. You probably already had some thoughts. Now you've got new information. So how do you feel? What's your reaction from Citizen Austin?
Well, mostly because I've watched the documentaries and stuff on like the area up in Columbus where all those big factories and everything are being built now, where they were buying up entire suburbs and bulldozing brand new houses. Yeah. And there was a documentary, I think it was on Netflix, where they were talking to people that used to live there, and they said that they were either bought out, and if they weren't bought out, they were forced out. And I don't think a place like Franklin Furnace or anything could survive something like that happening, especially in this small of an area.
Yeah, but it's already, the land, they don't have to tear anything down. The land's already there, and it's in an industrial area. So it's not plopped down in the middle of a neighborhood where the average house is worth $5 million.
But how many times have we reported on stories where something didn't go the way it was supposed to, or didn't go the way that it was reported to go?
Well, like Buckeye Towers?
Well, that and...
Quiet, Piggy!
That. But if you look at it, some of these data centers, they could be as small as Walmart, or they could be as big as entire towns. And it's just one massive building that you can't stand at one side and see the other.
I think what they say, send the 55,000 square feet, something like that.
Well, I think they're doing a campus. So they start with one thing. Well, because as you said, it's the need for them is only going to grow because we all want to keep our stuff there. We don't want the old stories from 15 years to go away. We don't want our old Facebook posts or our old videos to go away. So they're just, it's just like your comic book collection. You're just going to keep needing new boxes.
But there is other situations on that, like, Sin, I don't want to, but I do have to disagree with you a little bit. Like on the terms of TikTok, when that company was forced to sell to America, or it was going to be shut down, when TikTok itself is worth between $100 and $300 billion, and they were afraid of private people's information getting out. But once America acquired the rights to it, then all of a sudden pornographic stuff started to be put in on TikTok. And I am a small TikTok creator with over 13,000 followers, and I barely even use the app anymore because it's become more adult rated than PG.
Well, what does that have to do with the need for data centers?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I feel as if
TikTok sucks.
I feel as if the data kept overseas was safer than what it was when it was brought to America, because when it was when it was in China's hands, it was a lot safer and a lot more PG than once America got a hold of it. Because after America got a hold of it, then underage people on there twerking, people without their clothes on, pornographic stuff being added, and all it takes is adding a filter, and TikTok can't do anything about it anymore.
So headline Sin, Austin, this is why I surround myself by interesting and unique people. Austin's take is our security is better off in the hand. Our online security is better off in the hands. Don't fix me if I'm wrong. Our online security is better in the hands of the Chinese than it is in the hands of America. We are not able to monitor ourselves in such a way that we feel, and we're better off security-wise with China.
He's confused. There's two different things. What the changeover was for TikTok was the user data and the developer information, not where their data servers were stored.
No, what
It's a shell game. It didn't really change at all. FYI, it's still in a shell game with the TikTok. It's one of the
because no matter who owns TikTok, we would still need the data centers to be able to offer that TikTok service to Americans, whether it was Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? We would still need to have data centers if we want to participate with that app.
People in China cannot put the same things on TikTok that Americans can. They are like banned from a lot of political speaking out and things. Actually, I think a lot of the stuff you're seeing of the more pornographic content is coming from, that's just what the users are putting up, and they're using AI and stuff to generate it, but that's just more a matter of it being monetized and people finding out that's the kind of stuff people will pay for.
All right,
but nowadays monetization is controlled by an American company, and I feel as if the Chinese company and their safety protocols were putting people's safety above profit, and Americans is putting profit above safety.
So starting next week, Austin will be broadcasting remote from China.
You buy me a place.
Oh,
he's paying.
It's so no.
Hey, if he's telling me I'm over there and report, then
yeah.
I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat and tell you all about how TikTok is a psyop designed to wean people away from long-form programming and damage like the former traditional, like turn a whole generation into where they can only accept short-form programming. But I don't have enough tinfoil to get into that, and that's a conversation for another day.
Well, it's true, and they tell you, and you do this too, because Sin, you've got your podcast, and I want you to plug your podcast and your book. But your first book, no, your latest book, but shit, lost my train of thought. You talk about tinfoil hat conspiracy. Remind me there.
Oh no, I was just said. TikTok itself I think it, like Temu, is a Chinese psyop designed to wean you away, one from traditional retail, the other one from traditional long-form programming.
I remember. Thank you. Okay.
And destroying everybody's attention
they, when I say they, I mean those that are out there to educate folks like us. Yeah. There are a lot of groups and a lot of videos for creators, and every time YouTube updates the algorithm or Facebook updates the algorithm, then we all get this flood of videos to show you how to stay ahead of the algorithm change. For example, Facebook changed their algorithm, and so now you'll see a lot of news. They'll put just words because it gets a better shake in the algorithm, so it gets a better spread. So they'll put a words or video and then say the link to this news article is in the first comment, and that's because of the new upgraded Facebook algorithms. Otherwise, nobody would do that. So yes, you're right. It's a psyop for short form content. And Facebook's just about it. Facebook allowed, they traded everything for reels. That was another new thing they did. But until they did that, a reel for Facebook was, I think 30 seconds more than a reel on YouTube. But they say do the long form, because there's still an audience for the long form, and you guys approved that. Hundreds right now tune in for the whole long form, and then you cut it down into the short forms, and then those short forms get thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views. So there's still an appetite for a long form, and then chop it down into 8 minutes, and then you get some of those viral moments, and we're going to bring that up. You'll already be gone. We'll bring it up. Do you promise, you're going to love this, you'll remember this, Can you look in the camera and promise the people you will not sue the city council? No,
I did want to bring something to the front of your guys'
that
brains.
30 seconds, that was a viral moment that occurred. So, but unless it's that, you need a few minutes to kind of build it out. What was it, Austin?
I do want to bring something to the front of your guys' brains for you to remember. Between 2007 and 2022, Facebook was charged $724 million for selling customer data.
Well, they all do. That's where data brokers come from.
But they're putting a data center here when they were just
That's not
lost
what
to
data
the
centers are for.
But it's collecting data, isn't it? Holding.
No, it's storing data. In other words, if you don't have, and help me with this analogy, it's completely an analogy. If you don't have data centers, then you're just going to have to go back to photo albums and VHS tapes.
What's worked well?
Hell yeah, it worked well, but we, you might as well go back to smallpox.
But are they going to
polio? I mean, come weigh in, Sin.
Well, one thing about the Facebook settlement thing, they were the user data they were collecting to do with politics. It wasn't that they weren't allowed to collect it, but there are slightly different rules for politics, and it didn't specifically say that. But then they did a great big class action suit, and like everyone affected got like $12, and then the lawyers got billions. But yeah, everything's at a data center. Everything that you are not holding in your hand, everything on that phone is in a data center. Everything's there. It needs the storage. Everything that we do on Facebook, every article we post, it's sitting in a data center.
It's not really a cloud, people. It's not actually a cloud. There's not a data cloud.
And if we want you to be fast, we want data centers where we're at. If you want some speed, we want to keep that speed and that live and being able to get to your things as quick as you can. You need them. And I mean, I understand that there's problems with them, but everything has a cost. Everything we use has a cost. And we used to have a thriving steel economy. We had smoke belching into the sky and the highest lung disease rate in the country. That's everything. There's nothing that's free of cost. And that is the cost of that phone full of data and information, and you having that pocket computer with everything in the world you ever wanted at your fingertips.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam. We're going to give the last word to Austin, broadcasting from China.
Comrade Austin.
What do you think? I'm giving you the last word on this.
I just feel as if Facebook's going to be involved. They need to sign something to 100% say they will not sign any data that's collected. They need to make it to where if they get, like, they can't use any of the data collected in their data centers. Like, worldwide, they shouldn't be able to do that.
Why?
I mean,
it's already a thing. It's a huge industry.
Yeah, but that's usually the problem. Huge industries always use other people.
Yeah, you're the product.
Yeah.
We've always been the product.
That's why it's free. That's why your email's free. That's why there are free apps. You are the product. Your data is the product. People traded all their privacy for free news. They don't want to pay for anything anymore. So you traded your privacy for it. You traded being able to buy with apps. You traded your Kroger discount points. That's so they can track you everywhere. People traded all of their privacy away so they wouldn't have to pay for stuff.
That's right. That's right. You don't need a tinfoil hat. You don't need a tinfoil hat for that. It's a give and take. Nobody reads the.
You young people did that.
Nobody reads the terms and conditions, and they just hit accept, and there you go.
Young people followed directions of older people. It was the older people that built the stuff that young people like.
Hey, man, we come from we had toasters and microwaves, VHS tapes, and
Yeah, but it was somebody from your guys' generation that built this stuff that added to and added to and added to.
It was a bunch of college kids that built social media while they were in college.
Yeah. It can't be blamed for the people that all use Facebook.
Yeah, they're only like 40. They're whatever, late 30s, 40s. Yeah, they're not Gen Xers.
That's what it's all about. Blame.
So we can
half the Gen Xers aren't Gen Xers anymore.
Sin, tell us, please.
Everybody's so damn sensitive.
Give me a second to put you on full screen, Sin, and I want you to tell us about your podcast and your book. So let's do this right here. All right, go ahead.
Well, Mark, I want to ask you, do you remember, it's almost a couple years ago, when you messaged me? You're like, something's going up. Scanner's blowing up with stuff going out at the hotel on 23. You gotta look at the sheriff's report. It's going crazy out there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was the SCDN scanner, by the way. Yes.
Yeah, and then the the reports came in when we used to get our little log of things from the sheriff a little more regularly, and we're like, oh, this is the stuff, so we're going to ask for more about it. And then you sent in and got the reports, and we were playing back the scanner thing. And as I say on this book, it's called It Happened One Night with a K, like a knight in shining armor, that this is improbably based on a true story. And I think you remember it. You're remembering which one it was? You remembering it now?
Is that the Quality Inn?
It was an inn.
It was because we also reached out to corporate and got a.
Well, what happened was, you'll remember this, the sheriffs got called out there because some guests had come in and they couldn't find anybody behind the counter, and they went back to look and they found that the guy behind the counter had OD'd and dropped the needle, and they were trying to revive him. And so they sent out EMS and deputies. And when the deputies get there to help, the guy, as people will do, jumps up and runs away from them. So they're looking for him and they're trying to find him. And then they discovered there are no employees at the hotel. And the guests are kind of freaked out. And
because this was early in the morning. They're trying to check out.
It was like late night they found him. But by the time they got there and were looking around, dawn was coming. And there was no one there, and they were trying to get in touch with some workers. They couldn't find anybody. They ended up getting in touch with the owners, and the owner, I believe at that time they'd recently acquired it, and they were like, "Oh, no, okay, we'll get somebody down there." And one and the deputies were even putting in the notes that people were wanting to check out, and they didn't know what to do. They were trying to man the front desk, and people were a little alarmed by the situation and wanting to leave. And poor deputy ended up hanging out there and manning the front desk till they managed to send somebody down from, I think it was Columbus. And I said to you at the time, and we also did contact corporate, and they gave us a nice well, this is not the experience we like to give our guests. It's not our typical user experience.
I don't know. I like getting checked out by deputy sheriffs. That's, yeah.
And then we started joking, like, are they going to make them continental breakfast?
Oh yeah, we did. It's like he's not even going to know where to look, and he's going to put out the spread. Yeah.
And I said to you at the time, I'm like, this is so going in a book, Mark. It is so going, and it did. It's in a book. The book is called "It Happened One Night" with a K, and it just has our heroes from the other Camelot, West Virginia stories. They're they're firefighter EMTs, so I send them to another town for firefighter EMT training, and they check into this motel, and just right as soon as you check in, you can tell a lot of things are wrong. And we do have mysterious people ODing and the staff disappearing and all kinds of weird shenanigans going on. And I actually I don't want to give a spoiler, but I actually do have our heroes serve the continental breakfast because I just thought that would be fun.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But I will. Can I read you my blurb? I worked hard on it.
100%, yes.
Okay. Broken Heroes, a haunted motel, a vanishing corpse, and one night that will change everything. John Wayne Orkney is barely holding it together after the events of Down Came a Blackbird. Grady Dale Orkney, the fanciest Orkney of them all, has his world rocked by an impossible question from his high school sweetheart. A firefighter training trip is supposed to be an escape, but instead they end up at the crumbling Good Night's Rest Inn, where the staff is missing, an entire wing is sealed off, and a lost reservation forces a firefighter to bunk with them. Then Grady Dale finds an overdosed teen, with law enforcement unwilling to help and something deeply wrong hiding in the motel halls. Grady Dale follows his instincts into a single dangerous night with what looks like luck or magic, and to his skeptical new ally, maybe something older and stranger and unmistakably Orkney. One night, children in danger, and an epic hallway fight. It Happened One Night is a fast-paced Appalachian mystery packed with humor, found family, quiet magic, and a hero who proves not all knights wear shining armor. Some show up in camo pants, eyeliner, and carry a stuffed alligator. Improbably inspired by actual events, no one was harmed, probably. Which that I will say the probably, because I know they went out looking for the one fellow and I'm not sure they found him. So, and I also figured in something else that we've covered heavily here is human trafficking, because I always got to get some event. And firefighter EMT PTSD, which is another favorite thing to hit on mine is our volunteer people. But I told you it was going in a bookmark. It's. I'm gonna have
at the moment. I mean, we didn't even know all the details, but literally as it was unfolding, you're like, "This is going." In. Especially when the deputy started checking people out behind the desk. Yeah, man.
We were having fun with that one because we were speculating: is he going to clean the pool? Are they going to start cleaning the rooms?
If you're watching out there and you're that deputy. Or our friends in Clay Township, if you know that deputy that patrols there, have him get in touch with me. What a great interview. What a great interview to hear his side of what happened and what he went through.
You know how many I was looking at the sheriff's report today. There was more shenanigans out there. It is just shenanigans central. I don't know how it got the title. I think, bless their hearts, I don't think they get quite. I think they still get more actual travelers than, say, the Four Keys or Royal Inn. Like, they actually get some people that want to go to a regular motel, but I think they find things they're not expecting there.
Yeah. Some of these motels, they do get travelers in the form of sovereign citizens. That's the traveler.
Oh.
I think Sin froze up, so we're gonna let her come back here in just a second. Oops.
We didn't freeze up yet.
No, we're not frozen. Sin's frozen. She'll be back.
But yeah, they could just connect the fire department to the hotel.
How would you feel if you pulled up to a hotel? Okay.
Make the whole hotel firefighter themed. Like have the firefighter hats,
almost
and
like Firehouse Subs, but it's a motel.
Yeah.
So the hotel I was at this week had a lot of construction workers, because where I went, there's some major construction going on. So the whole place was construction workers. And do you know that they had their own ambulance? They had their own medics.
I wouldn't be surprised. Nowadays.
There was 50 trucks of various sizes, and one of them marked like all the other ones with the same white and the logo and all that, but it had red lights on top. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can't use red lights. You got to use yellow, green, or white. You can't use red. So then I get up to look at it, and it says the same company, but it says Emergency Response Unit. And so they go around and sit at the sites and make sure if somebody gets hurt, they get like instant.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But like the firefighter hotel thing, there was an episode of Gordon Ramsay. He did the hotel renovation thing.
Yeah.
There was one that he did where the guy had the entire hotel in Ferrari themed. The toilets and bathtubs were bright cherry red, Ferrari pictures in every room, and he was like, "This place looks like it was designed by a teenager."
Yeah. He was. If you guys watched the cooking show,
Hotel Hell or Hell's Kitchen.
yeah. So the Hell's Kitchen, he's like really mean to people, but then on the hotel side, which was more interest to me because I'm a hotel guy, he would be mean for just a little bit and then so nice the whole rest of the show. But you did have to see him in Speedos for some reason. Every episode he was in Speedos.
If they had a pool, yeah.
But yeah, the cooking show, he was just mean all the way through. But and the hotel show, he was rough, and then just super compassionate, empathy, and Speedos.
In his defense, when it comes to food, he has a standard to uphold. You wouldn't put out news if you thought the news was shit.
Right. Well, that's why we always say we only print 10% of what we actually know.
When it comes to food, that man is strict.
So because you're tapping into a passion, then that's what all right, Sin's Connection is back.
Woo!
So I want to
Took you long enough.
Her, yeah, so let's bring her.
I need a better data center. Something.
We were coming up with some good ideas while you were gone.
Good answer. Good.
I said we were coming up with some good ideas while you were gone.
Yeah, that was a good answer. I need a data center. I figured you had to reboot and everything. I don't know, but
totally froze. No.
The other thing we wanted to plug, we brought you on so we can let you go. The other thing we wanted you to plug was your podcast. You mentioned that one other time. I think it might have been the last time you were with us. You mentioned your podcast, and frankly, as much as we freaking talk, I mean, we talk a lot every day, and I had no idea you had a podcast. So tell me about that.
Well, it's sporadic, and I haven't done anything in a bit. I called it But I Digress, which is because I can't stay on one topic. And I've got some people lined up to do some more of them. I have been like in a writing frenzy. Well, I got 3 books up in 2 weeks, 2 Christmas stories, and which are only 99 cents. So if you're looking me up, you might want to try those too. But so I've been on like this writing binge, but I do want to talk to a few more people about some stuff because I like to talk. I could have you on. We could talk. I could have you on, and we could talk about this on there about some of the stories we came up with that ended up like the fight over the Second Amendment sanctuary city argument at the Greenup County.
Greenup County, man. Oh, that was right.
It was ended up verbatim almost in the book I did, Grace Under Fire, where the sheriff just lost his mind over people debating. I've got so much good stuff I've been storing up, though, like all the drama on Portsmouth City Council. All the fight over data centers would work really well in there, and then the last book, the villain in that was totally based on our really, really bad predator teacher, a couple of those that we dealt with. So, this job is great for material. And I really I use the jail booking sheets for names, and I'm always making notes of first and last names that I can mix up and recycle for characters.
those special kind of names, those different, unique kind of names.
Now when I was young, it was the people that couldn't figure out how to spell chastity. They wanted to name their kids after Chastity Bono, Cher's daughter, who's now Cher's son, Chaz. But went with all these different spellings of chastity. It was chastity, chastity, chastity. So you see all these women of a certain age that have some offbeat spelling of that.
I think coming, and also chastise.
I don't think you should name your kids after cars either.
Name your car. Yugo.
Mercedes, Bentley, Lexus.
But then you get into the people that can't even spell Mercedes and Lexus, and then it just morphs into
Benz. Just call me Benz.
But have you ever noticed when somebody names their kid like Mercedes or something, their kid's always really ugly? So it's like
the old Mercedes.
You can name your kid Mercedes all you want, but they still look like a Buick.
If your name is Mercedes, let's discuss who you should address your comments to about that. Not.
Yeah. Oh man. Sin, if it's okay with you, we're going to move to the next segment, but it's a subject I think you might be interested in, and it's about long-term committed relationships and how things change over time and all that kind of stuff. Austin is literally walking on. He's like, long. What? Yeah, that was cartoonish, man. Anyway, could you stick around and let that segment play out? And
sure.
Okay.
I love to weigh in. He's having such a good time.
Well, and you mentioned it earlier. I know I accidentally I didn't. There's going to be an echo. I'm sorry. You mentioned earlier that it's hard to keep you think so fast, and when podcasts and changing subjects so fast and everything. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been able to work together so well, because we're both pretty spastic thinkers. And that's where some of these crazy ideas come from, and angles. And I mean, we try to be sincere, but we are sincere. But while we're being sincere, we're also being as just creative, and also, what about this angle? What about that angle? And I think
how they publish historical letters exchanged between people. When people wrote letters, they should do our email threads. That would
yeah. I guess WikiLeaks could get in on that, but it's just it's a thread of brainstorms. It's wild. It really is wild.
And my hobby is nicknames for people who tick me off. And if you tick me off, you've got a nickname.
Every politician.
We'll get there eventually.
Every politician has a nickname. People
and sometimes it's positive.
Yeah. Sometimes it's positive. We got Honest Dave, so we got our positives, but that's it. No, that's not it. That's not it. I just don't want to disclose any more. But Dave already knows we call him Honest Dave. So I'll let that one go. I don't want to give anybody else's away. So you're good to stick around for the next segment?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll put her right there. All right, man. What do you think?
I don't want to do the next segment.
Well, you might find. I called you out. I called you out in the next segment.
Why did you call me out in the next segment?
I'm just saying. So now you might want to be. Yeah. I was mad over that stick. I'm kidding. I didn't call you out over the stick, but I did call you out. So, you can watch it, or
let's go.
You can go to another part of the basement and talk to the ghosts.
No, they don't like me very much.
They're just residual. Look up residual. They're not.
So it's half my relationships.
Residual. They're all residual. Unless something new happened this week while I was gone.
No.
Oh, I was hoping. I was hoping. This guy, let me tell you, if you're looking, if you
Don't do that. No.
Huh?
No.
no,
Don't listen to him.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. If you're looking for a good time, no.
Call Mark. I'll give you his number. I got his private number in here somewhere.
yeah, that'll change tomorrow. All right, so all right, we're gonna move on to segment 2, and we're gonna talk a little thing about relationships, and then I'm gonna call out Austin, and then we're gonna bring up a kind of a concept or kind of an idea. So let's. There it is. All right, so let me add this to the stage, and I might have to go back. Yeah, okay, hang on a second. I didn't cut this, so it just is what it is. So let's take the whole thing. Let's go down here.
Mark in a hotel room. Elder's gone wild.
I was in Buckeye Towers, trapped, being held hostage. Oh. All right. So, these. All right. So, where do I hit?
Play?
I told you I didn't edit nothing. I just went with it. So people were constantly asking me. No, actually, nobody's asking me at all ever. But for relationship advice, but I wanted to put this in here about mental health, personal well-being, empowerment, growth. So we have in our partnership an agreement, and it can go both ways. But what happens is about once a month, I go and enjoy myself for about 3 days. Normally it's in a camper, but when it's cold like this, it ends up being accommodations. But it's really one of those things where you have to have a strong relationship. You really do. I mean, you have to. This is not for troubled relationships. This is not for in and out and breaking up and back and forth and fighting and throwing stuff. No. I'm talking about for the mature empty nest couple. This is this is it. For me, all I can speak to is me. I can't speak to her side. It would be unfair. But for me, it is what I call a change of reality, because reality is a perception. I believe we perceive what we perceive, therefore it is, and it's not always the case. I kind of see that every day. So the change of the reality of what I normally see in an average day, and having little tasks to do, and then try to invent interesting ways to do things and make things more efficient, and then also deal with my mobility issues. It takes my brain to a completely different set of problem solving skills. A part of my brain and a part of my physicality that I hadn't used except for those 3 days. So I think it's called rump spring. I don't know. We'll see. But when it comes time for us to show it, then I'll have it all figured out. But I think it's called rump spring. It's an Amish tradition. And I think for some couples, for the majority of you, no. And I'm not talking about fooling around and all that stupid stuff, because that's why the majority of you is not for. I'm talking about for the mature couple, that partnership that has been through the storms and have determined. I mean, we've been together for many years, and lots of conversations and rule setting and all that kind of stuff. But it's possible to still have a rump spring during, however you decide it to be. A boys' weekend, a girls' weekend, whatever, and make it a thing. But the big thing is, the fun part is this: it's a no question policy. See, I have my rump spring, but when I get back, I'll tell what I want to talk about. I'm not getting prying, where are you, and tag this and ping this and cyber stalks and all that bull crap. That's a bad no. That's a no. You got to go back to that other group that we talked about. So whenever you get home, you get to talk about the interesting things that you learned. And at my stage where I am now, and that evolves, of course. But we've got two options. We can think about our memories, which there's a lot of good memories, but then there's some really freaking bad memories. And the problem with thinking about in the past is those bad memories, even though they're outnumbered 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 100 to 1, they have power. They sneak up on you, man. They get up in your head. They ruin your freaking day if you start toiling around with them. So I really try to change my worldview to I'm looking forward, and what I'm looking for are interesting moments, just interesting, little moments, little memories, that moments that I never would have had unless I had been at that place at that time in that condition. So I find it's like finding little diamonds for 3 days. It's so much fun, but then still dealing with work. But in the off time, you're just out there, diamond for gold and diamonds and little things you can add to your memory bank for later that never ever would have been there unless you decided in your healthy relationship that you're going to enjoy a rump spring. And it could be like we have 3 days a month. It could be every other month. I don't know, whatever you want to figure out, but it's worth talking about. That's why I'm bringing the discussion. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you to talk about it. It's your relationship. And and if you look up, I'm actually a mediator for what's called pre-divorce, in that before you actually file that divorce, come see me first and let me see if I can save your marriage. Because I think with a lot of folks and the cases that I've had, we've had a lot of success just with more with honest communication and with new expectations. Because normally what happens in a couple is one person is going in one direction, the other person is going in the other direction, and that's kind of where it's at. And of course there's the typical you cheated on me bullcrap, but typically it's the growing apart. And so at that point, sometimes it's good to just reestablish new rules for that period in your life. And that requires a conversation, open and honest. And if you have that kind of relationship, these are the people I'm talking to. If you don't have the relationship, please work on it, and I'll help you. But the folks that have good strong foundations should also have an honest, open line of communication, whereas you can bring up anything. I mean, they've literally seen you at your worst, and they've seen you at your best, and guess what? You woke up today and they were there. Huh? How about that? Pretty freaking impressive, right? Well, the very least you could do is treat that person as your best friend and tell your best friend what you'd like to have, what you need, what will help you be more fulfilled in the relationship. You've already seen, the worst of the worst of the worst. So all this is a question, some words, a thought, a discussion. Surely we can do that, but man, my gosh, we avoid that like the plague. Openness and honesty, and not throwing crap back in the face. I wrote a whole book on the rules of engagement. Look it up. It's on Amazon, I believe. Rules of engagement, and it talks about how to fight fair. And when I did premarital counseling, I had a whole class on fighting fair, because couples are going to fight. They're going to disagree. But at the same time, there's a way to do it and not completely F things up like bad. So you can have a heated debate. I mean, a freaking heated debate. But you can do it in a way if you follow the rules of engagement. And that requires, oh my gosh, here I go. I'm about to drop a C-bomb again. Communication. And you communicate what the rules of engagement are. It was also in my book 40/40 Vision. I wrote that in that as a short, just a clip, because it's 40 truths I learned in 40 years, and that was one of the truths. And then from that spun off the entire book about the rules of engagement when it comes to arguing in a relationship. So I don't know. If y'all want to talk about it, I'll talk about it with you. I don't care. Just reach out. You got to go through the email, webpage, contact us, and you'll find that under the more about us or about us, contact us, and send me an email. That's all I look at. I'm literally, you think I'm on social media all the time. Not. There are people. Anyway, there you go. How's that for a ramble? Austin. Don't let me talk much after this, whenever this goes off. This is for you to react to, I guess. And if Sin's still on, I don't know if she's going to be on at this time. But yeah, so hell, it's probably a good idea that Sin is on for this segment. So I don't know. That's kind of cool. So there you go. Oh, and I did the whole freaking thing, to introduce a montage of pictures that I took over the weekend or through this week. And one of them you're going to see is this kind of average, regular, middle class bar, but there's this bouquet of roses, and I said to the bartender, I said, who ordered the roses? And she said it was the owner's idea. It's actually pre-selling for Valentine's Day, and it was a bottle of champagne. I thought it was I'm sorry, I almost said vase. Well, you cancel me for vase. Vase. I thought it was a vase, and but it was a champagne bottle. Probably the cheap shit. But anyway, it was a champagne bottle. And so they had it out there, and they were pre-selling these little deals. So come Valentine's Day, they'll have, hopefully, 50 or 60 orders to fill. Wouldn't that be cool, right? So one of the pictures you're going to see is that, so we'll look for it. When you see the picture of the bar, look for that the flowers, because that's the reason why there's a picture. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken a picture of it. But I thought it was so cool, I had to take a picture of it. So there you go. That's it for me. I don't know. On this end, what am I going to say? SCDN, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm just... Okay, all right. Now, all right. So, I got to
That's enough talking. To the pictures.
all right. Yeah, all right. Gotta go to the pictures. Now, this is with the warning I told you at the cold open, that if you watch, you're gonna have two words stuck in your head for days, and it was all by design. So you're welcome. So here we go.
Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. At a champagne party, Charlie brought jars of moonshine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend, was a damn good friend of mine. At a champagne party, Charlie brought jars of moonshine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine.
Oh, Charlie Pickles.
Look like a funeral eulogy, like those videos they pop up after you pass away.
So that was my. I forgot to put in day 3, but anyway, that was that. Now, who's Charlie Pickles? Charlie Pickles was all right. I had an Uber driver, and I never do this. Now I'm going to do it all the time, but I'd forgotten something back up in my room. So when the Uber got there, I'm like, I am so sorry. I'll get you better on a tip. And I had to go back up to my room and get something. I came back down, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. The guy is like super chill. He's your age, maybe a couple years younger. And he's like, it's all right. He was so chill. He goes, it's all right. It's just a guy and his dog driving around meeting people. That's what he says, right? And I'm like, that is absolutely a great worldview. And he had a dog. Remember Benny? He looked like a Benny that was 6 months old, 4 months old, and he just got him from the rescue. But just the markings, the Rottweiler markings, but that collie nose. And I said, that's such a beautiful dog. I didn't tell him about Benny. I just said, that's just such a beautiful dog. And he said, you want to know the dog's name? I said, of course. That way I can say the dog's name as I'm getting to my destination, right? And he said, the dog's name is Charlie Pickles. And I said, that begs a question. Where the hell did that come from? And he said, me and my roommate, we're the ones, we rescued this dog. We couldn't come up with a name. So we decided, and they had only had it 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And so they said, all right, here's what we'll do. At the count of 3, we'll both say a name. And then, so they did 1, 2, 3. And my driver, he yells out, Charlie, right? And his roommate yells out, Pickles. I guess from Rugrats or something. I don't know. And so they're both like, perfect, a first and last name, Charlie Pickles. And that's how they named their dog. And I was so inspired by that, we drummed up the little song, Charlie Pickles. So and to pay homage to that, if you go over and you listen to SCDN Radio, it's just for a couple of days, just after this broadcast, just to help people. Charlie Pickles is actually in the rotation over on SCDN Radio right now.
You tell the driver you're going to do that?
Huh? Oh, yeah, that was the other part. Yeah, I want to, I know I can, go back in my Uber history and find him, and then and send him the song I wrote about his dog. Yeah.
That would be
I would
pretty
love
funny.
a follow-up on what he had to say about that.
That
So,
would be pretty funny.
all right, let's bring Sin back on. I know she's got to have something to say. Let's bring her on.
You
All
went
right.
for your rum spring at the Cracker Barrel?
I tell you what, I do it upright.
I wonder why you were like sending me pictures from Cracker Barrel. He's like texting me the peg game, which by the way I can do in 20 seconds. But like, woo!
Wait a minute.
I'm like,
That's a definite quote. Definite quote.
I'm like thinking, I've been up here talking to you, and like my husband's getting nervous out in the hall missing me. But and I'm thinking watching On Patrol Live and having some chips and salsa was kind of a dull evening. I mean, I could pull out the peg game and really take it up a notch, like you.
Yeah. Oh man, just whip one of those out, just like you're sitting down to a romantic dinner before you eat.
Oh,
Set the peg game.
I make him time me because my mom and I used to race each other doing it. One long winter up in Wayne Hills, that was like our thing, was getting good at that golf tee puzzle. And like, I am so proud of how fast I can work them. Anytime I'm at a Cracker Barrel, gotta like time me.
Just imagine her sitting there looking at that face like, turn me!
Yeah, but I had in my rump spring, I did. I went to Cracker Barrel twice, and yeah. But then I was able to show the other picture, the champagne flower vase thing, and then of course Pickles. Well, Charlie Pickles, yeah, the whole Charlie Pickles. So hey, I mean I had a good time. I had a good time, and I think it's worth a discussion in a healthy long-term relationship where the person can trust that the other person not gonna be a total moron, but get out there and have some fun, and also on the mental health side, just to be able to change your reality, kind of a mental reset. And it's sort of like then when you get back into the routine, it doesn't feel so monotonous and stressful. I don't know, and that's really what I thought you'd be perfect to kind of give a take on.
Well, I've been married a long time too, but I think I think either one of us would be fine if one of us went somewhere, but we're like these two bonded nerds. We like the same goofy, stupid stuff that we tend to do things together. But I think people should do what makes them chill. And if people need a break, let them have a break. Because, you come back, you can be more refreshed, more relaxed. But my other question is, I thought I asked you to get me some Mallow cups at the Cracker Barrel, and I do not see them.
You did. You asked me, and I didn't even see him the first time I was there. But when I went the second time, I saw him. But there was this thing called a praline delight, and it was like this candy bar that was just nothing but nougat. It was just so. And I saw your Mallow cups. I did. I looked right at them. I'm like, there's Sin's Mallow cups. So girl knows what she's talking about when it comes to some Cracker Barrel storefront. What's happening? I did see that, and I thought about you. But I got that. I tried one of them. Just it's a candy bar, nothing but nougat. It's crazy. It was wonderful. I think that. They actually put the name Divine. It was called the Divine. Was the name they had on it. But yeah.
Is he still awake?
he wants to he wants to get more into the rumspring in a committed relationship. But also, Sin, I look at it as 27 days a month. I am 100% here, 24/7. Working from home and what. And in our situation, Miss Angie sits. Literally, talking about having separation anxiety, being in a different part of the house. Miss Angie literally sits to my left. We can reach out and touch each other at all times. So I'm here 24/7, 27 days a month, and 3 days a month. I just need to change reality and kind of reset the wiring in my brain, and then I look forward to the return. And actually, Miss Angie did not put the 3 days. That's part of the conversation. This, having healthy conversations. Miss Angie did not put the 3-day time limit on. I put the 3-day time limit on because I tried to stay gone too long one time, and I was like, no, it's not fun anymore. I want to go home. So that's where the 3 days came from, because she's like, if you want to go for a week or 2 or whatever, because I've talked about getting on the Amtrak train and just getting one of those sleeper cars and just going back and forth between New York and Chicago. But I can't do that many days away from her. So, but 3 days works. But that was my rule, not hers. So what do you think? Is that an option for some people?
Yeah. I think people need to reset in whatever way they can, and especially if you're home together all the time. Sometimes it's nice to just get like what that work break. For a while we were both working from home. Well, all the time. We were here every day, 24/7, and it's like a little breathing time, like when a kid goes back to school. You have just a little time to decompress and, I don't know, talk to yourself, put on some headphones. I'm sure she enjoys being able, because, when you're in the house with another person, every once in a while they're gonna want to know what you're up to. And sometimes you just want to do nothing, like I am just flipping channels, or I'm staring at this coffee cup, or I'm playing this golf tee game. But I'm still amused that you go wild at the Cracker Barrel. But I can always tell, because you come back when you take your little trips. You'll say I'm going to be out of town or something, and then you'll start messaging me with wild ideas for SCDN.
It's true. Yeah.
You get those messages too? Yeah. Like.
But I'll get ran at 3:00 in the morning, and it's like, let's start a strip club. It's like, no, Mark. Okay, if we can't start a strip club, let's start an auction site. Oh, all right, we can do that one. Let's start a late night show. All right, I guess.
But strip club and auction.
Auction the strip club. Oh yeah, we got private dance. Yeah, well, they do that with wet T-shirt contests. They auction off the water for if you want to be the person that puts the water on the T-shirt. So
we'll fill up that meeting with people with objections.
Yeah, man. You think city council can pack a house? Watch that. We're going to get our permits and zoning and all that. Yeah, man, we'll pack a house.
We'll put our bid in for that data center site.
That can be option 2. Option 2, and we'll make it real formal. Put it in writing, like we'll have, our in-house attorney. He'd do it. He would do it, and we'd put a whole thing together and submit it to the county as option 2. This is what we'd like to do with that area. So
I just can't. I can't anymore. I'm missing on patrol life. I just can't. You make me misbehave. And I was trying to nicely speak of my book, and I'm ranting on about the nastiest stuff, and I just need to stop.
Welcome to After Hours.
Oh man! All right.
Chinese Saya.
Chinese Saya.
Welcome to Where the fuckery begins.
Oh, man. All right. Sin Mackley, thank you so much. Thanks for staying for that second segment. And I know it's important, what with being a Saturday night and all. So thank you very much. And I'll talk to you on the...
Okay.
As everything's all calm, and she's just like, ah!
Talk about getting the last word in. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And, little Peggy.
It's all super calm, and all of a sudden it's just like, ah! Right at the end.
So if I go on her podcast, I might have to do that. Like when it's time for me to leave, I'm just going to have
right
to
at the end, just
Charlie Pickles. Oh man,
bad, Biggie, bad.
Man, we're doing good on time. I cannot believe it. I'm looking. I had a feeling we were running late, but I'm looking at it, and we are at 15 minutes and 15 minutes.
Did you see that?
I've got your thing. That's where we're going to next.
The first video I sent.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk about water with when Sin was on, and we got to tell the folks that Austin had sent me a thing about water, a real problem about water, days and days before the data centers were announced. And of course the water question comes up. So all you water question people, I want you to take a look at a real water problem, and then we'll come back after the discussion, and you're going to hear exactly what I have to say to you, water people. I didn't get a chance to do it with Sin, but we'll do it now in this segment. All right. So this is what Austin sent.
So what's your dad doing over there? Oh my God.
It's 2026 and we're left with no water.
Today I'm in Norfolk, West Virginia, and I just finished touring the top of Burke Mountain, where not a single family in this mountain has clean or running drinking water without a painstaking process to get there. Jamie reached out to me recently and asked that I document the process her and her family has gone through for years to get running water in their homes. And all I gotta say is the video is gonna speak for itself.
This is where we have to haul water for everyday use. We don't have a running water source on this mountain.
What is this?
This is a tank that Bluestone Coal had put in years ago. They were using it to keep the dust down on the roads.
So how does this get refilled?
It comes out of a mine. This is the way you turn the valve on for the water to come out.
Did you mention that can be cumbersome at times?
Oh yeah, especially when it gets froze and stuff.
Is that why we got muscles here?
Yeah, he can do it.
So what's your dad doing over there? Holy shit.
If you're not very skilled.
Holy shit. Have you ever gotten stuck?
Oh yeah, we broke down in the middle of the water. He's had to get out and get under the truck in the water.
Oh my God. That's gotta be miserable in the winter.
It is. See the boots that he has on? He goes through several pairs of those a year.
So how many families come up here?
About 40 residents. Anytime that we've ever tried to drill for a well, nobody ever hits any water.
How long have you been doing this?
Since I was about 12 years old, and I'll soon be 60. We go through a lot of vehicles. The road's not uphill. If there's snow on the road, it's nearly impossible to get in and out.
So what do? You do
without water. My mother's family settled this mountain back in the 1800s. Well, I have contacted some officials, and they say they don't know what to tell us. 90% of the people that has died out on this mountain has died with cancer.
So you grew up doing this?
Yes. My dad had 3 girls, and we was raised doing this. That's the only downfall of living on this mountain is the water, because it was like the best childhood ever. There's several people that are elderly. They can't do this. It's ridiculous that it's 2026 and we're left with no water.
How close is running water to you guys?
Right off the mountain. They had a big water project that they got got grants for. We got left out like always, and there's been probably millions of dollars brought off of this mountain in coal.
This is a hell of a process for water, I gotta be honest.
We're gonna have to use a hose. It'll hook on right here, and it'll run back in there to my cistern. There's a little valve you open, and it'll run it in the house. If you climb up this ladder, you can lift up those things, and it'll show. I got it running to a pump in my basement, and then my pump pumps it to the house.
It's actually kind of discouraging.
Oh, definitely. And it becomes too hard on people that's lived here their whole lives. I just think it's a shame that people have to up and leave because they can't physically do this.
I bet you all the politicians in this area have clean drinking water.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yep.
These are the valves to cut those on. That's when the water runs to the pipes to go into the house.
Is there any other closing thoughts you have?
As technology has progressed, we're still left in the Stone Ages, and all I ever want really is to make it easier because my dad going on 60 years old, and I don't know how much longer that he can do this.
Let me hear your thoughts for the first time.
Oh, I was going to you because I was like, all right, this is your story, so you...
No, this is one of those ones where I provided the story. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay, so here's my thoughts. First, the obvious, the story itself. Living in the Carolinas and traveling through there regularly for various things. That story is certainly not unique, but it is very, very, very real. And like she pointed out, the town below is completely fine, but they have no regard for the 40 people that live up on that mountain, and again, their thinking is, well, we've got the town water tower and it's this high, and you live above that, so that means we got to pump water up to you. So, we're not doing that. Figure it out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big problem for a lot. You talk about Appalachian. We celebrate Appalachian art with Sin and her whole series of Appalachian mystery novels, SCDN Radio, Appalachian music. It is. I mean, there's people in Scioto County right here. You want to bring it local, and put it in the comments and tell me the spots, because I know of a few. But as well managed as Scioto County has been over the last 50 years, there are still places in Scioto County that don't have access to county water or city water. They're on their own. So that's my reaction to the actual story. What?
Now you feel how I feel when you put me on the spot all the time.
Right. So, but
he's just like, damn.
Yeah, because I was going to switch gears and talk about the data centers and the water, and how I thought it was so interesting that you sent that story way before we knew that there was going to be a percentage of the population very, very, very concerned about water in the form of water pollution. So it was just two water related stories, but I just thought it was just really interesting how you sent that, and then all of a sudden half the county's talking about polluting the river, polluting the water.
I mean, Scioto County River isn't it one of the most polluted waters on this side of the Mississippi? Hasn't that been a thing for years?
You know what? As far as that goes, I don't know. I go by will you eat the fish?
I've jumped in the Ohio River to save a fishing pole, so I'm not really the one to talk to.
Right. I mean, getting in the water, being in the water, that's different. Like, when you're going water skiing or tubing and all that kind of stuff. Whether you're getting the water or not, that's not the test. The test is, will you eat the fish that comes out of that water?
No.
So the question is, you catch a fish in the Ohio River, will you eat it?
No.
Okay. And that's right now. That's right now. I do not want to get canceled by the people who say that I would eat the fish out of the Ohio River and I feed my family, or actually what happens is it's the provocateurs, the disguised as advocates who don't actually have the problem, but they advocate to say he is trying to say that poor people that need the fish from the Ohio River to survive, he doesn't care if the dirt, he says go ahead and eat the dirty fish, and he doesn't care if they get dirtier. Screw you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking in practical terms. Historically, take a freaking poll and look at the percentage of people who would go right now, tonight, and pull even if it's a catfish out of the Ohio River and freaking eat it.
I'm all for eating fish. I like seafood.
I love
I
seafood.
I would not consume a fish out of the Ohio River or the Scioto River or whatever the heck the other river's called.
Right.
No.
Okay. So that's as is today. Now, this comes in two parts. Of course, it's me. So if you don't and won't eat the fish now, when there is a data center in Franklin Furnace, will that affect anyone's Ohio River fish eating habits?
Hope not. I would hope that nobody was eating fish out of the Ohio River. I hope not.
All right. So I want to put this in a very concise form that you dirty river people, and saying that this is a problem because of the cooling pits, and you water freaks, and it's not that I'm not saying that environmental stuff. I'm saying the Ohio River right now, fish eating, food consumption. Okay, that's that. Here's the test. Now I'm going to tell you, here's the test. If you pass this test, and this is going to be in one of the shorts, so I'm being serious about this. If you pass this test, then you have permission to bitch. If you don't pass this test, don't bitch. Are you ready? Here's the test. You drive down Highway 52 to Cincinnati. When you drive down Highway 52 to Cincinnati, you pass some power plants. Kentucky side, Ohio side. Well, I believe the one in Rome, and you see these large grass levees on your left-hand side if you're going to Cincinnati. And the biggest thing that crosses your mind is, we need to watch for deer here. And there's lots of signs about deers. And so you just drive a little more cautiously right on through. And the only thing that you think about that experience is, I need to watch for deer. But that grass levee on the left are cooling ponds. So if you went up in a little drone, you would see cooling pond after cooling pond after cooling pond coming from that power plant. Now, if you think the data center is going to destroy the Ohio River, and you are not actively picketing the power plants with the cooling ponds on the Kentucky side in Maysville, on the Ohio side, if you're not actively holding signs on a daily basis about the pollution they're doing to the rivers, you do not have the right to bitch about the data centers.
Dun, dun, dun. Sorry.
The cooling ponds are there for a very particular reason. The cooling ponds allow them to naturally get back down to the right temperatures to introduce back into the river. But they don't just dump into the river. They go through a pumping station and a filtration, and that is all run by the EPA. They are EPA compliant. And so what they put back as the resource that they needed, and they return it back, they put it back cleaner than what they got it. And then the EPA is the one that has oversight over that, not Scioto County, and certainly not the keyboard warriors that have lived their entire lives and their parents' entire lives with the exact same thing all up and down the Ohio River on 52 and on Route 8 on both sides with the power plants. They're doing the same thing. So if you're not up in arms over that, don't be up in arms over the Franklin furnace. Period. End of sentence.
And if anybody has worked in like solar farms and anything like that, most of the times when there's a cooling pond, no matter what it is, there is a rubber mesh that they put on the bottom that's about, I'd say about that thick, and it lines the entire bottom, the banks, everything. And every so often, the pond or the pool's drained out, and that's replaced. So that thing is as thick as a tire. When I was working in solar, we used to have to walk around empty ponds that they were installing that, and it's a thick rubber mat, kind of the same thing you would put in a pond in your backyard. You buy those black rubber mats and lay them down, put the rocks over them, make them look pretty. It's basically the same thing, and then you have like a wire mesh that you lay over top of that, and you put another thinner one over that. So it's not like they're just letting it drain into the soil.
Right.
It's got to go through the filtration. Like there's nowhere else for it to go other than through the filtration.
See? Even more layers. So, yeah, the water, and I didn't get to bring it up with Sam, but it's probably a good thing because she was trying to get into conspiracy theories and stuff.
Oh
no, she wanted to watch the show. Because so and I watched the show the other, I guess it was last weekend, and I told Miss Angie, I said, I guarantee Sam's watching this right now. And Tim, big shout out to Tim. I know we got a shout out to Caden along the bottom there, but shout out to Tim Mackey. Yeah, so let's do this. So I've been gone for 3 days. I'll be now here for another little bit, unless there's a break in the weather, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Maybe I'll do another one. What did I miss?
What do you mean?
I mean, just like in human interest around the area. What did I miss?
I don't know. Well, not really anything in the area, to be honest, that I've noticed.
No gossip?
Not that I've seen, no.
All right, so
I did send you another funny little video, just kind of a little calm breaker, and it was the police chase video there.
Yes.
I thought,
yeah,
since it was in Scioto County, and the music that they put with it was...
Yeah. The problem is... and
copyright.
We did the article. We did the article about it, but that video is actually very good, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. So, but yes.
To just give you a little detail of it, it was basically a police chase with the sound, the Dukes of Hazzard theme song put in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. And and a lot of you have seen that chase that just recently happened. And yeah.
And then there was some stuff about the Minneapolis mayor and the.
So we're gonna play a little game.
Oh God!
All right, we're gonna play a little game, and in for you at home, that are members of SCDN. Hey, subscribe to SCDN. You get more articles, and you get the articles faster if you subscribe to SCDN. So do that. All right. So this was a headline photo. What story was that?
I have no clue. It's in there. I can hear it ringing.
What story was that?
I have no idea.
It was I believe. See what I should have had if I had a fucking producer. I would have the story already pulled up. So I'm going from memory, but the story was that a person, again, allegedly, because I'm going from memory, a person was being accused of stealing a phone, and they said no, they didn't have the phone. The phone was in their purse, and whenever they started calling the phone, the damn purse started ringing, and so that's how they got busted stealing the phone, and because it was in
So they did.
It was the officer. The officer, I believe, now it's coming to me a little bit more. The police officer called the number, and it was in that quote was in the police report that the police officer said it's in there. I can hear it ringing, and was pointing to the purse, and that's how they.
So it was the person that was being accused of stealing the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody didn't just lose their phone in their purse and start accusing somebody of stealing.
No, it was the alleged thief, but those were the exact quotes. Yeah, it's in there. I can hear it ringing. All right. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So, all right.
Note to self: if you're gonna steal a phone, put it on silent, or don't steal a phone at all. That works too.
All right. So, what's this story from?
I don't know. I don't keep track of our old stories.
Everybody at home, this is not old. This is all this week. This stuff that just came out this week. So play at home. What's this from? It's Portsmouth City Council, and they were having their organizational meeting, and they were getting their swearing in. And that is your brand new first ward city councilman, and he was also a former mayor. He was a mayor in the just before it went to city manager type situation. They had what's called a strong mayor, and he was the last strong mayor, and before they made the transition. So the organizational meeting, and then they elected the mayor, and so the mayor's Charlotte Gordon, and the vice mayor is Yvette Mosley. You remember us going out there at Wayne Hills and putting out all those, man, my gosh, how many flashlights and how many pizzas and how many batteries did we put out?
A lot.
I hope all those batteries were used for flashlights and for no other purposes.
They might have been used for flashlights.
Flash.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. All right.
Flashlight, a pizza. Night set.
Yeah. Yeah. I got two more left.
Wait, who was in charge of the first ward previously?
Oh, you're going to take me there. That was Sean Dunn.
Okay. Was he good, or was there a reason he was replaced? Or was it just he was... So he doesn't have to do much to be back.
I'm glad that I'm glad that the graphic was up. What happened? What did you see while everybody else was looking at that graphic?
Mark was visibly displaying his affection for the previous person.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I was looking to see if we could blow up some balloons that we had, because that's exactly right.
I thought you were going to say Moran for a second. I was like, he doesn't have to do anything to be better.
Yeah. So, all right, this is the last one. This guy
Snap into a Slim Jim.
I'm
sorry.
Where'd that come from?
The hair.
Random. Oh, okay. So this guy made headlines this week.
What did you?
Well, he was indicted. He was answering for indictments of murder in Franklin Furnace, along with 2 other people, and he in a plea deal this week got a reduced charge of some kind of robbery. Again, if I had a producer, I'd have the freaking article. But a murder indictment completely goes away in a plea deal, and it's down to I think it's attempted robbery. I think is what. So you go from a murder rap to attempted robbery in a plea deal. What do you think about that? And do you think he's now going to be a witness against the other 2? Because the other 2 haven't gone to trial yet. He's the first to make the deal.
This is just like that case we talked about not too long ago, where they could do something super, super bad and get 6 months probation for it.
Yeah.
It's no different.
I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. The legal system is the legal system, and if the evidence wasn't there, the evidence wasn't there. But it was there to get the indictment.
The evidence was probably there. They're just cutting him loose to get 2 other people. The 2 other people probably had a bigger rap sheet.
Oh, so they're going
for the bigger fish, more than likely.
They're going to give him a sweetheart deal so they can nail the other 2 to the wall.
Probably.
Because they have they're more historically dangerous.
But I mean, he was indicted for murder, so...
You're going to do whatever you freaking need to do to get that off the table. Yeah, that's right. Well, they say a secret is safe between 2 people if one of them's dead.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, hey, it takes 3 for a conspiracy. So
Slim Jim needs
there
to get their
could have been a
spokesperson.
conspiracy charge thrown in there. Huh?
Slim Jim need to come get their spokesperson. He's up here acting up.
He did. Yeah, Slim Jim. Y'all, he's acting a fool over here.
That's a hairdo, though.
I don't know.
I can't. I wouldn't.
And I just realized this Caden is not the Caden I'm shouting out in the scroll at the bottom. I swear it just hit me. And I'm like, no, I am not shouting. The Caden I'm shouting out knows who he is, but the viewer, if you're listening to the audio of this, the person on screen had the same first name, Caden, as the person Caden that we're giving a shout out that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So if you're listening to this, you can't see that, but for for everyone else that's watching, that's what happened. It just hit me. I'm like, whoa, those 2. That's 2 different Cadens.
Allegedly. Communication is key, Peel.
Oh man. Oh, is there anything else? Anything else we want to do? And we do appreciate you guys making it this far. We have. I tell you what, we have so much fun doing this, and we see the numbers, and we know the folks that actually watch long form, like we were talking earlier, And there are hundreds and hundreds of you, and thank you so much, because it's just us. Here we are. We're standing at the end, right?
I have a question for you. What is your thoughts on what happened in Indianapolis or wherever it was?
Minnesota?
Yeah.
So I have a lot of that went down while I was gone, but I did get a bit. So I'm working off limited knowledge. So you'll probably, no doubt, be able to fill in some blanks that I have. But from what I understand, in law enforcement, you wouldn't pull out your gun for the initial contact, and it's a rule you don't walk in front of a vehicle. And then further down the line after the shooting, a few cars back, there was a physician, and the physician was trying to render aid, and I saw pictures of some type of law enforcement literally holding her car door closed to keep her from rendering aid, and she's saying, I am a physician, I am a doctor, let me render aid. And they were holding her back because they didn't want her
And they literally told her, she said, I'm a physician, let me help. And he said, I don't give a damn, stay back.
Yeah. So what led up to it? I don't know what led up to it. I don't know anything about right before that. I also know that ICE decided to stop communicating with Minnesota. So that's the other tidbit. Other than that, I don't.
From what I gathered, there were ICE agents in the middle of her street. She was pulling out of her driveway. She stopped, said something to them, and she even said, I'm not mad at you guys for doing your job. Another SUV pulled up, more ICE agents got out, and one immediately walked up and said, get the hell out of the car. And her steering wheel was turned all the way to the right as she was pulling out. The guy walked up. She didn't go turn it towards him or anything. She continued the way that she was going, and the guy pulled a gun out and shot 3 times into the vehicle. She rolled down the street and hit a parked car. And as I told you before we started, the mayor of Minnesota literally told ICE to get the F out of his town, that they do not want him there. He does not want them there. And now he's in trouble because he told them to get the F out of his town. He was like, I dropped the F-bomb. They killed somebody. Which one was worse?
That's a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rough one. There's a lot of videos.
There is. It's even the guy guy who shot was recording. There is a recording.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
He had his phone. Even in a video, you could see him with his phone, and he pulled his gun out and shot with his phone in his hand. Actually, I believe I sent you that. It was the one
of him holding it.
The last thing I sent you. It was. You could see a video of somebody on the sidewalk, and you could see the guy with his phone. You could see the car turn, and then you hear the shots, and it was from the guy who shot. It was from his cell phone in his hand.
All right, guys. We're going to treat you one more time as we wrap this thing up.
Oh gosh, what are we doing?
This is just for you, and it works out good when I do this background. We're still here. Get ready. This is your treat.
Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. At a champagne party, Charlie brought jars of moonshine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend, was a damn good friend of mine. At a champagne party, Charlie brought jars of moonshine. Charlie Pickles was a damn good friend of mine.
So there you go. Charlie Pickles. It's on SCDN Radio right now. Oh man, it's going to get stuck in your head.
You definitely got to find that driver and send him that. At least a song.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to find that driver. I'm going to send him a message. Send him that song. Oh, man. We'll have an update. It'll be awesome. All right, you guys. We appreciate you. You don't even know. So much. For the sticking through the long form content. It is absolutely our pleasure. We have a real hoot doing this. Next week we're going to have some extra viewers by a bunch, so get ready for that. I know we're getting geared up for it. We're going to have a ton of extra viewers in the true crime. What's that called? Genre, or what is that called?
You technically call it genre, but
yeah. Anyway, it's their interest in their Facebook interest groups.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we've been publishing some true crime and doing some national stories and stuff like that. Especially when you're subscribed to SCDN, you'll see those. Anyway, so we're doing really well with our true crime fans, really throughout the country, and so we're gonna bring them in next week. So we're gonna have a big audience.
Vanessa actually do like a video call with a few of them too.
Yeah, and we still want to do we still want to do interviews. Anyway, but so in order to do that, because we're gonna increase our viewership by about tenfold the very first one, and then the people that like it'll ferret out to what it's going to be. But we need to upgrade our sound so we both have a microphone so you can hear us clearly, and hopefully that camera. We've got another camera that we're trying to get to understand. It works, but we just don't have all the wires. Huh?
You don't think they can hear me like this?
No. But we don't have all the wires to the new camera.
This little the world stance tripod thing that I got going on here.
Yeah,
Waiting for the alarm to go off from War of the Worlds.
I think it's nice.
Use that little thing to come off the back, the little
My
cage on the
sister
bottom.
got me that. I've got another one I use when I'm singing, when we do band stuff. I've got one that's made for that.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister got me that like 3 years ago.
It's a pretty good one.
It's good. And it also does have a shot gimbal for this if you're in a spot and you need that little gimbal. It's a condenser mic, but
Dun dun dun.
yeah. So this has been a very intimate moment with our local SCDN folks, and we're gonna try. We're gonna add in a national true crime community and do a couple shows under that format. Just kind of see how the response is. Because this is a living, breathing thing, just like with SCDN. Every year we reassess on our voice and our tone and our style, and this is new and it's fun, and it's two buddies that like to
Talk crap.
chat. Yeah, and so I enjoy doing it, and it gives me a chance to see Austin because I haven't seen much of him lately.
You can only deal with Mark one day a week.
I used to see him every day. Huh?
You can only deal with Mark 1 day a week.
But I used to see almost every day of the week.
He's like an acquired taste.
I'm definitely acquired taste. It's just like the first time you drink coffee, and I was like, oh my God, it's just terrible. The first time you drink beer, and then you drink coffee all day long and beer all night long.
He's closer to moonshine. Or Everclear.
Well, at least got some kind of flavoring, right? Like some kind of berry.
Flame and regret.
Flame and regret. All right.
Have you ever taken a shot of moonshine and not regretted it instantly?
Oh yeah, you regret it first, and then you enjoy it.
See?
Yeah. It's like regret. Then, oh yeah.
See, 99% of the people in town are like, screw Mark Craycraft. But if you get to know him, he's not too bad. He's just a little weird.
Yeah. And you know what? You're weird too. And, you know, you hate me, that's fine. I still love you.
See, it's one of the, it's like a Mad Hatter moment. It's like most of the best people are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, go back in time and yeah, there's some really, really cool people. Crazy like a fox. Out of their
Albert
freaking-
Einstein?
Cutting ears off and melting
Sherlock
people.
Holmes? Yeah.
I'm not going to cut an ear off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends. If it would get you ratings, you'd probably think about it.
Give me ratings.
Views, ratings.
Yeah, if I can monetize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Mark would be the kind of person that would try to legalize that that Death Island show that Stone Cold was on. What was that?
Dude, I don't even know. What
They
is
send
it?
like 30 people on an island. Whoever lives to the end is
Free,
Yeah.
and then everyone else is distanced.
yeah.
That's kind of Mad Max. That's kind of, okay.
See, he's about to say that's kind of cool. You see that?
Mad Max, that's what yeah.
That's kind of Mad Max. It's kind of okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of at the end was about to be like
That's like
kinda
the
cool.
ultimate Royal Rumble.
What is that movie called? Because now I'm going to want to watch it.
See? Yeah. So, listen, y'all, tune into SCDN Radio. We put a lot of heart and love into that. We're updating it all the time. We've got brand new features coming that we're working on. So we're working on upgrades here in this studio. We're working on radio upgrades, and Sin and I are working on website stuff. Our tech dudes have been reactivated because it's the first of the year. So tech dudes are doing some automations and some upgrades on the back end on the website. So literally SCDN, everybody's all full power. Everybody's doing their thing in their areas. Oh, that reminds me. I did have one I was going to make a short out of. I forgot that.
What?
Ask. Okay. All right. We're going to do this.
Let's do it. The movie I was referring to was called The Condemned.
The Condemned?
Yeah.
And who was it? It was a well-known name.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Prisoners put on
Yeah.
an island.
Was he the winner?
And of course he was the winner.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have done the movie.
Like Death Race.
Yeah. You ain't going
Remember
to
that?
kill me
Or
on
Twisted Metal.
Don't remember none of them.
He's uncultured for a news broadcaster.
No, I'm very cultured.
What was the short you were talking of?
Huh?
What?
What short?
I don't know. You said you were going to do a short.
Oh yeah. I got to do one more short segment. It's just the call out. Because we're going to hire somebody. And so I was going to put that on here, and then we'll close it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Who we hired?
Okay, who we hired? We have an opening, and we're looking for somebody that's really good with social media, and thumbnails and YouTube and all the other types of social media that's out there. We have a need for that, and the time frame commitment is 3 hours per day, and I don't care what 3 hours. But 3 hours a day, I need a social media person. And the second position we're hiring, same deal, 3 hours a day. And that's for our overall NFP publishing. So for some of our catalogs and some of the books we have that need distribution, and some of the bands that we represent distribution. So it's two different skill sets, two different people, both 3 hours a day, and it's the first time that we would have brought anybody new into the organization that has not been a personal referral. I truly believe in personal referrals. That's why we have very, very little turnover. Actually, we've only had one turnover. So if you're interested in either one of those two positions, it's 3 hours a day, please send an email, and I don't even need a resume, as you've probably seen, not that conventional. Just send an email and introduce yourself. Just tell me something interesting about yourself. I don't care, right? We'll just start the conversation. But I need to hire those two people immediately. Okay? Thanks.
And be prepared to deal with our shit.
I don't know if I can cut it fast enough. That was so fast. But so
I left a little 4-second intervention there.
you pull the sin. Mount all cups.
Be prepared to deal with us, because you're probably going to have to.
All right. Yo, we appreciate you so much. And we appreciate you joining us with After Hours, sponsored by
Me.
Number One. Sponsored by Austin. This week's sponsor is Austin, all the way from China.
Pass the light around, my friend. Don't hide it when it shines. One little jar turns the dark to gold. One's the young and heals the old. One's the young and heals